This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
We're queued up here to talk about Marvel, but before we get there, I'm going to practice what Marty Scorsese says and go off script here and just wrangle back in a little bit more on Walking Dead. The show's success, well, you know, once you go off the show, I want to put a little closure here. It continues to go on even to this day and still have tremendous success. Do you still keep up with the show, keep up with the cast? What kind of connection do you still have to what's all going on there? And can you believe how successful that franchise has gone on to be?
John, I'm sorry to cut you off, Paul. I just saw an ad on TV that it's you. You look like a zombie in their new episodes of Walking Dead. Did you come back? Are you coming back to the?
I think that just might be some other.
Are you just trying to call him a zombie, Kurt? What are you doing here?
Well, you look dead. He looked, face was white.
Not that I know of, man. Unless I wouldn't put it past those dudes to just use some stock footage. Just as long as they're not paying me. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know nothing about that, man. I'm not coming back. But I will say, the crew in Georgia that make that show and the cast of that show. I love those people with all my heart. I was really blessed. Andy Lincoln, Sarah Wayne Callies, both had young families right when I was about to start mine. And they were great models for me about how you could be, professional actors and also put your family first. Scott Wilson, who we lost, Jeffrey DeMunn, Irony Singleton, Norman Reedus is one of my best friends in the world, Stephen Young, that core original group, Melissa McBride. We started something that was very humble. Nobody thought that show was going to be what it was going to be. We didn't have trailers. There wasn't craft service. We just hiked out into the woods. And there's something about making a zombie show, that Frank Darabont told us right off the bat. If you have 6 actors walking through the woods and you're trying to play that there's zombies everywhere, if one of you isn't taking it absolutely seriously, if you're all trying to be quiet, but the one of you is just worried about your freaking makeup or just kind of walking, it blows it for everybody. So it was almost like being on a football team. Everybody had to commit fully all the time to make it work. And, that group really did that. Like I'd never had so much fun on a show, and I never had so much fun with a group of people. A real family was built there, especially in Georgia with the community, the cast and the crew, with the crew. And look, I'll be honest with you, I felt like, hey, here's another wall. Finally, I get on a show. It blows up. It's the biggest damn show in the world.
Yes.
Kill my ass. They killed me twice. They're like, man, pack up your shit and get out of here. And, I've said it before, my son Henry was born during the second season, my first son. And, when I died, I think in episode 12, and I went back to go spend a little bit of time with him. And then I flew back to Georgia to pick up my dog in my truck. And I went back on the set to go say goodbye to everybody. And I hiked into the woods and I saw everybody kind of doing their thing on set and how they had moved on without me. And I realized, I just sat on this rock and I kind of had tears in my eyes because I love this group and I saw them all doing their thing. And I decided against going over there and, making it about me and said, I just watched this beautiful machine, they were fighting all these zombies and the barn was on fire and everyone was doing their thing. And I was so proud and I was so grateful that I got to be a part of such a thing. And, I'll be honest, it's as sad as that was, sort of saying goodbye to the people, when I look at it now, it was such a blessing for me to do what I did on that show, to have had that experience, make those friends. But man, I've gotten to do, so much great stuff. And I'm really happy I'm not doing that now. I'm really happy that, they've gotten to stay there and do that. And I've gotten to have all these sort of new relationships and new experiences. So, but enormously proud and grateful that I got to be a part of that. And it's, never underestimate the power of that show. I mean, what they were able to do with that show was, it was truly mind blowing how many people, it tapped into something that I think we all, and I think, the pandemic sort of has reawakened. We've all wondered, what would you do if the veneer of society got stripped away?
Yes.
And if the rules started to go out the window? And I think Shane as a character, he was the first one to kind of figure that out. Yep. He in that first season, he's beaten that guy who's beating on his wife. He starts beating his ass on the beach and he hits him again. I think in his mind, he realizes, in this world, I could just keep hitting you. Like, I can kind of do it. And like, so the kernel of this idea, which then carried the show forward, I love that kind of got to start with Shane. And I loved kind of discovering that and having those ideas.
Right.
Now, thank you for indulging me there. I felt like we needed to put a proper bow to tie that's a big one. That's a big time series. It's been a big impact on our society the last 10 years.
I think that's right, man.
Absolutely.
I think that's right. Yeah, they've really done something incredible.
There you go. All right.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at savewithconrad.com.